Now, before we get started about installing applications, I want to clarify the difference between just putting an icon on your desktop and installing an application. Now, in an earlier video, I showed how you can easily put icons on your desktop by simply finding the directory where your program file resides. I'm going to use music here because I don't have it on there yet. If I just go down, I'm going to take a look at the Easy Score and scroll down to this program. That's the print program. Here's the Easy Score. I simply click, drag, and drop, and there it is now installed on my desktop. If I look over here and I say install application, there's no parameters here. There's nothing special going on. It's just installing an icon onto the desktop. But then we have to do one more thing. We have to go and clear the screen here, and then we have to save our desktop the way it appears. But you have to remember that you were inside this directory. So if you want to save your desktop, go back to where you want your drive set up. Click here, come down here, save desktop, and click on OK. It'll save all this stuff just like it's supposed to be. And the next time you boot, it'll be all right. Now, if we go ahead and look at the differences here, if we look at the Easy Score program here versus Word Plus, if we look now and we say install application, you see I've assigned it a doc type. You just type that in as a reference to what kind of documents that it runs. To show how that works is I can now go into First Word, or I can go anywhere I find a DOC file. I can click on that file right here, and if I double click on it, it'll automatically launch that application. As you can see here, we're now in Word Plus, it loads the document already for you. It's just like in Windows when they have file associations. DOCXs are Microsoft Word. So let's get out of this. So let's try this for another program. We can do it for a music program, whatever. But let's go down first to another word processor, ST Writer. Okay, ST Writer doesn't use docs. It does text files, TXT. So I can click on those. And you'll see here, if I say install application, you see where I've associated TXT with that. So now, let's go down to actually a document that's a sample. And double click on that. It launches it, loads it up, and there we are, already in the program and the document that you want to work on. The next parameter we're going to talk about is when you go into the association, you associate the F keys as a hotkey to launch the application. Now, I wouldn't use F1 through F4. That's the ST's default keys. But you can do maybe the F5 through F7, 8 on the other ones, as you see down here. And we just simply say install, and then do that for each program. Now, go up here, I'll do it for this other program. And I'm going to say F6 and say install. And it says I already did that, and you're going to overwrite it. Well, it's okay. All you have to do is decide which ones you want in advance and make sure you assign the right ones. So I'm going to go ahead and install that over it, and that'll be fine. So let's try another one. Let's go over to LDW Power and check it. It's already got a doc type assigned. Let's do an F7, so it's good to go. So we can at any time just press a key. Now, if we go down here and press F5, you'll see that Word Plus starts right up and ready to select a file. Okay, so now we can try another one. Let's go over here, get out of this, and we're going to go up here and do 3D Calc, say install app. We already got a file associated, but I'm going to install it as F8. So I say install. It's already been assigned somewhere else, but right now I don't care. So I come over here, I'll put my mouse cursor away from the icon. You see if I press the key, there it is, already ready to go. So let's quit out of that. We're going to take a quick look and see how the system saves everything when you save the desktop like that. So when you save the desktop, it saves to one of two files, either a desktop.inf or a new desk.inf. for the later versions of TOS. So let's open that up and take a look at it. Now it's stored into your root directory, and as you can see, it's a plain ASCII file. And here it has things like the assigning of different types of files to different applications, and the location of the icons on your desktop. All this stuff is down there. And then in another area, it talks about your hard drives and your disk drives. So that's why it's important to have to make all these changes to go ahead and do one last save for that desktop. There's one more way to handle this whole icon on the desktop, and that's by linking your data files directly on the desktop rather than putting your applications there. For example, if I go to the docs directory for Word Plus, I can grab a link to one of its documents. So let's go here to test doc. I'm going to drag it to the desktop and drop it there, and now it's there. I can also go off to a different application. Let me go to 3D Calc. And let's open that up and open up the application directory to the data and open that up and grab one of these, car or invoice. Okay, let's drop it down here. Boom. These are now links that if I click on them, I'll open up the application. Let me go ahead and do that. Here's the doc for Word Plus opens up. It loads the document, and there it is, ready to use, just like before. And if we do that again, we go ahead and do that for the invoice for 3D Calc. It's there. It's up in the upper corner. It's loaded as spreadsheet number 1. Okay, but it hasn't opened up the spreadsheet, but it's loaded into the program. Now, believe it or not, there's one more way to do this. You can choose which one you want. Let's go ahead and launch a program, but we're going to do it by using the data file. And to do that, let's go to a different one we haven't used. Let me go down here to Works, and we'll double click on it to open it up. And then we'll see here's all the different files, and there's some STW files. If we go up there and just double check, Works is associated with STW, so it should open it up. And I can sit there and drag that STW file directly to the icon over here. So again, it's there. So what if I told you, though, that I take that off? I don't even have to associate that program with that. I just dragged the correct file. Again, it's not associated. I drag the correct file type to that program, and it will open it up anyways. So all that information that I just gave you on how to associate things and link things up and all that are really not necessary. All you need to do is on your desktop, you just have an icon for the program you want to use, all the programs. You don't have to associate them with a file type. Just go and drag them to the proper icon, and you're just fine. So here we are, back to where we were, saving the desktop again, and ready to go. Now that I've laid out exactly how all that works, I'm going to show you something to get rid of all that. I'm going to highlight all my desktop icons, and I'm just going to remove them all. I'm not going to use them. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and use the actual files. But first, let me explain and show you here that Word has still got the doc file associated with them, and so do everything else. Those other ones were just desktop shortcuts. But instead, I'm going to come down over here, and I have it on my D drive, a document directory, right? So I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and you see I have different types of documents in here. I'm going to move it over here, and I'll get rid of my C drive. So instead of having two windows open for that, I'm going to have my docs all in one shot. This could be used for photos as well, however you want to, but now you have it like that. So since those associations exist still, wherever you put this, all I need is this on my desktop. And if I double click on this STW file here, it should bring up Works. And sure enough, it does. There it is. Works comes up. It updates the fonts on this particular one. And there we are, the calendar I built back in 1994. And we should work for all these other ones as well. If we go back and we try to do something else like test.doc, open that, Word Plus opens up. So the association still exists, but we don't need to clutter our desktop with the program. We just need a desktop shortcut, just like Windows. And we click on each one of these, make sure that they open up. Now here, I'm not going to save this because I like to use it the other way, but it's another option for you to use. So once you get it all set up, you would go up to your options menu, and you would simply save your desktop to show your document directory. And you just click on Save Desktop, say OK, and there will be your new way of operating your ST document mode. Me, on my other hand, I'm going to reread my INF file because I want to put back what it was. So I'm going to go to the new desk.inf and say OK. Boom, it puts it all back just the way I had it. So there you have it, how to manage your desktop and any shortcuts you want to have to programs or files, and how to associate them using the Install Application menu on your Atari ST. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the Atari Geek channel and hit the bell to make sure you get notified of any new videos. Additionally, you can find me both on Facebook and on X. The links are in the description of this video.